What it is, chat? I'm on my way to the dungeon. I'm swerving through traffic and trying to get there. We gonna get there. Look, I'm on my way. What it is, you in the dungeon with your boy K the fuck I X. And all I actually do is follow them tags with that. Follow me on Twitch, Facebook, and Instagram. You see them down there. And of course the one up top, it's my YouTube tag. Now look, we taking you into the boxing world. We about to let y'all know about Crawford and Tank. Now, chat, I want to know who you think gonna win if they really fought. Me personally, I got Crawford beating the dog shoo out of Tank. But on some real, we really don't know because it's a sport of boxing. Now let's get into it. You in a dungeon with your boy K the fuck X, and all I actually do is hit them buttons down there, up there too. Feed me 50k subs, chat. I need that. Now let's get into it. Enough said. Let's go. The boxing world. We in there.
We all need the money. I ain't doing it for free. See, this wasn't just about money. Crawford was calling out the hypocrisy. Because if we're talking dollars, Tank isn't exactly on Forbes' billionaire list either. Both of them are prize fighters, fighting for legacy and a check. So why was Tank acting like he's above it all? But the shade didn't stop there. When the interviewer asked Crawford how he'd feel about Tank moving up to 154 to fight him, Crawford didn't even blink. He straight up said, "I wish him the best." That wasn't encouragement. That was a funeral speech. Translation? Crawford's not chasing Tank. If Tank wants that smoke, he better level up fast. Because, let's be real, Tank at 154? That's a different beast entirely.
I just used a corporation plugin that should probably be illegal.
Get rid of them ads.
Will say that it's
hit
cheap.
the button, subscribe to the channel.
And from Crawford's
like
reaction, it's clear he doesn't take that scenario seriously.
Javante Davis speaking about you. Is that ever a possible fight?
Yeah, if he want to dare to be great, he can be like all the other fighters that's moving up 2 weight classes. And, you know,
get knocked out.
Great.
You would fight him.
Man, tell him to come up there.
He got to come to win 54.
He said,
because
I
feel
got
like
a glass chin.
Chat. I feel like Tank gonna get his ass knocked out fucking with Crawford. Anybody see the Errol Spence fight? And I'm not saying in no comparison, but Earl was way bigger than Tank. And Earl knocked out way more experienced fighters than Tank. Let's be for real now. Earl was the one who was supposed to win the fight. But Crawford won. He was the underdog in that fight. Now let's be real. Tank don't fight nobody. He damn near lost against Roach. He took a knee, didn't he? I ain't never seen nobody take no knee.
So tell him to come and touch it.
Wow.
Woo. He said touch it.
Javante said you got a glass.
He said I got a glass chin. Tell him to come and touch it.
At 147?
At 147.
At 147. Go touch it, Tank. But if you ain't got you one of these, you better get up out of the chair. Cause you can't roll with me. You gotta get you a B. Hit them buttons down there, up there. Feed me 50k subs. Let's go, chat.
Make 147 for him.
Ooh, see, oh man.
You're gonna have a pre-camp.
Then what the people gonna say? Oh, he's beating up on little guys.
Up.
I don't know.
The man's undefeated for a reason. He knows his worth. And he's not wasting his prime on fantasy matchups with dudes who barely scraped past Lamont Roach.
Ooh. Facts. They facts, chat. I just said it. I never seen nobody take a knee and won. How you take a knee and it was a draw, chat? Like, I don't get it. If anybody follow the
Now
boxing
here's
world,
where things got
if anybody follow the boxing world, go look up Tank versus Roach. The dude took a knee. I haven't seen that. The last time I seen that, the person who took a knee lost. And Tank was fighting him. Wasn't that Robert Garcia? And the dude before that took a knee took a loss to, I forget who it was, but anybody take a knee, that counts as a knockdown. And what world is not a knockdown? And how is that a draw? Tank was getting his ass handed to him in that ring, man. The world just wasn't ready to see that belt get changed over. That's it. But think about it like this. Didn't Tank win the belts like that? Wasn't he an amateur fighter going against a fighter that was known? And what happened? Come on. They didn't want Roach to go in there as an amateur fighter and beat Tank in the same way he came in. Because why? His legacy would have been over. And that's facts.
spicy. Crawford didn't just criticize Tank's resume, he dissected his last fight in surgical detail. When asked about the Roach fight, Crawford didn't hold back.
Let me ask you this. You can help me out on this. This last fight, Roach and Javante. Have you ever seen anything like that?
Man.
I mean, you can't take a knee. That's a knockdown. Whether because I saw Floyd break his hand hitting the guy and took a knee, and they gave Floyd an 8 count. So I'm trying to figure out how Javante avoided that. And then I'm trying to figure out how he got his guy come up to the top of the ring and wipe grease out his eyes.
Come
they do
on,
that
man.
that much?
I guess that's part of the new, you know what I mean, boxing era.
When you saw that, tell me when you saw this, you saw.
I was going crazy. Shannon, I was going crazy, Shannon. Ain't no fucking way. What? Took a who? Shannon, I was going crazy. So I know Crawford was going crazy.
Saw him take a knee.
He brought up the moment Tank took a knee, something that should have counted as a knockdown, and questioned how that was allowed to slide. On top of that, Crawford called out the bizarre moment where Tank's team came up to the apron mid-fight and wiped grease out of his eyes. That's not just suspicious, that's a whole procedural violation. And Crawford made sure everyone watching knew it. Even more wild, Crawford indirectly called out the referee. He pointed out how Steve Willis started the count, then suddenly stopped, almost like someone backstage told him to. This ain't just boxing talk anymore. This sounds like corruption.
And then you see he go to the apron and this guy come up to the top of the ring. Well, he's like, hold on, what's going on?
I'm just as confused as you. I said, huh?
Come on.
I was just like, oh, that's crazy.
Crazy.
And Steve Willis, a great referee.
He is.
And he started counting, then stopped
it.
Like, they said, hey, you better stop counting.
What?
Oh.
Wow.
Hey, don't do that again.
Crawford said it.
He said it. And that's the truth. Somebody said it. And what'd he do? Because if he watched the fight, he started counting and stopped. But he looked around like, and got that nod. Like, man, I don't know. But if you know, you know. Tank is not a fighter. It's all for promotion. It's all for stunts. I'll tell you like this. We could put 20, 30, 40, 50,000 up and I'll get in the ring and bust his ass. Straight up. Or we can just do a free boxing match or whatever you want to do. Not just put the knuckles on you. Put belt to ass. Straight up.
Plainly, without the knockdown, Tank wouldn't have won. He gave the edge to Lamont Roach. And let's be honest, that's not something you expect to hear from a fellow elite fighter. But this just proves how real Crawford is. He's not playing politics.
Come on.
He's not protecting clout.
Nope.
He's giving you the raw truth.
Facts.
Could we use your house to try out?
And look, chat, if you want to get rid of these ads right here, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. That's how you gonna get rid of these lives.
Our 24-hour bathroom upgrade system.
These ads.
We're looking for homeowners with invalid state.
That's how you gonna get rid of these ads when you on these live joints. Shit. Oh, said. What?
According to him, Tank looked overconfident. He didn't take Roach seriously. And that arrogance almost cost him the fight.
Cards. Judge at the ringside. Eric Marlinsky scores it on 115 to 113 in favor of Javante
He walking around like,
Davis.
I feel entitled to this win.
And Glenn Feldman both scores about 114 to 114 each.
And we gonna stop right there. This end shit on the scorecard is bogus. Roach was up on every scorecard throughout the whole fight. So how the fuck is they even at the end? And Tank ain't did shit.
In a draw, the decision is a majority draw.
Good. What?
Everybody thought
Bogus.
Javante Davis was going to walk through Lamont Roach like it was just another payday. A highlight reel knockout and another flashy post-fight flex. But Lamont? He flipped the script.
Dan put that boy in his back pockets 3 times. You better pay attention. Better open your eyes, chat. Roach? Ooh. Watch him. He gave He gave Devontae them hands. Belt their ass. Huh. What? I'm trying to tell you, Tank boy. I stepped out the ring because I didn't want that life. Tired of beating
From
you
round
niggas, you
one,
know?
he came with pressure, precision, and zero fear. The guy who was supposed to be an easy tune-up ended up giving Tank one of the toughest nights
Okay,
of
he
his
look
career.
confused.
And let's talk about that 9th
You see how when Tank got hit, he said, what the like he look confused. Like he really putting the beats on me.
round. The moment that had everybody on the edge of their seat when Tank took a knee after a sharp right hand and body combo. That wasn't a slip. That wasn't
No.
a stumble.
No.
That was a tactical collapse. And it looked like a clear knockdown.
Yup.
How is this not a knockdown? Tank Davis was just exposed, man. What is going on in the sport of boxing, man? KDB Sports and Entertainment.
I wasn't relying on that. I was relying on what I was doing in there. I think I was taking control. I think I was landing more shots. I think I was landing more power shots. And I thought I was doing my thing. So I'm not really that frustrated about that.
And it wasn't
He
just
most
Terrence
definitely
Crawford
was.
calling it out. Boxing heavyweights like Eddie Hearn and Oscar De La Hoya were on social media saying the same thing. That was a knockdown, no debate.
No debate.
My opinion, sure, it was a great fight. It was a close fight. Depending on what they do with that decision of taking the knee, depending if the commission reverses the decision or I think a draw was.
I feel like the commission need to reverse that knee. It's a knockdown, and it's gonna be clear. It's no more draw. Roach got that. They gotta get that man up the belt, because he gave the belt to Ash, to Tank. Nobody wanted to see that.
Was meant to be. So I like the draw. No, if you take a knee, man, if you take a knee in the 90s or in 2000, you're taking a point off. That's the bottom line.
Come on.
You're taking a point off. I don't know what happened with the referee. Maybe he was a little starstruck. Maybe he was a little, because he loves Tank. He loves New York. He loves the big lights. The referee with the eyes, he's like, point should be deducted if you take a knee. It's a fact. It's in the rule book, right?
Fact.
The fact that they didn't take it away, then that's where the controversy is, right? not. Look, did Gervonta get hit? Was he dazed? Who knows? Only he knows. But what I saw, when you take a knee, that's an automatic point. That's just the rule. This is not basketball. This is not.
And this is the thing about it. It's not that he not just took a knee. He took a knee and stuck his fucking head out the ring. And they wiped him off. You only can get touched when you go in that corner when the end of the... Damn, when the bell ring at the end of the, whatever you want to call it, when the bell ring at the end of the... damn. Nigga. Anyway, when the bell ring, when they go to that corner chat, that's the only time anybody in that corner can touch him. Say anything to him, do anything of that nature. Anything else is a throw on the flag or lose or a point. Straight fact.
You know, this is not basketball where, wait, hold on, my ankle hurts. Hold on, let me take a timeout. You don't take timeouts in boxing.
No.
It just doesn't happen.
No.
Whether he had something in his eye or not, you have to fight. There's 3 minutes to fight. So if you take a knee, if you go to your corner, I mean, the rules are the rules. And I don't know what New York is gonna...
Chat, how many times Ali had something in his eyes he couldn't see? How many times Mike Tyson had sweat in his eyes he couldn't see? How many times all these boxers had sweat in their eyes they couldn't see? Ain't nobody take no knee. They fought through it. Fighters.
It's gonna settle on, but the rules are the rules.
That night, I haven't watched the full fight. One thing that's kind of baffling is that it wasn't a knockdown. I mean, look, he wasn't hurt. There's no doubt about that. But if you take a knee in the fight and you touch down, whilst punches are being thrown, it has to be a knockdown. I've heard some people saying, oh, that, you know, he should be disqualified.
The ref letting that slide changed the energy of the fight, and honestly, it might have saved Tank's undefeated record.
Right, because
the hardest punch I ever faced.
When he took that knee, he just got hit. He was dazed. No bullshit. He took the knee because he knew he was about to get worked. That was the beginning of the end. Once he got hit in his eye, bang, the combo was coming. And he knew that. That's why he took the knee and stuck his head out the ring. As a sports player, stopping really hurts your momentum. And you can tell from that Super Bowl game with the Ravens, when they stopped for a whole hour, they was up by like 30 points. Then here come 49ers. They come back, almost won. They come down 28 points. They lost by 3. They was down by 33 points. They stopped the game for an hour and the momentum shift. They stopped that match for a couple of seconds and the momentum shift. Tank ain't getting no hits in, but he ain't getting knocked out. That was the point. Open your eyes, chat.
No. And I ain't shitting on him or nothing like that. He can punch. But
were you born between 1980 and 1989? If so, you can get $250 to spend at McDonald's completely.
Hit them like buttons. Subscribe to the channel. Hit me in the comment box. I do hit back chat. Let them know. Subscribe, like, comment, share. That's how we gonna get rid of these ads. Now let's go.
he's from Puerto Rico. Bro, he got bricks in his hands, bro. I lie to you not. He punch hard. I ain't gonna lie. He a hard-headed motherfucker.
Now here's the twist. Tank and Roach knew each other from back in the amateur days.
Yeah.
Same DMV region. So there was history there. Maybe Tank thought he had Roach figured out.
Gervonta Tank Davis just been released to the public. We know now, December 14th, Houston, Texas, he's going to be facing a very tough opponent in Lamont Roach.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell us a little bit about the history between them two?
Oh man, they've been knowing each other from the amateurs, silver gloves, everything. They grew up actually together, you know. Roach and him back and forth battles and whatnot. It's gonna be a pretty interesting fight, you know what I'm saying? Because Roach always he come to fight. I mean, I think it's a great fight. Everybody talking all that stuff about why Roach? Because he signed and took the fight, you know what I'm saying? And it's good for the community.
But Crawford made it clear, this ain't the amateurs. And the pros, they hit different. If Tank thinks he can coast on reputation, he's in for a rude awakening.
True.
Tank would never even think about to come up to 154.
What about?
Bro, I have a couple of people that I know Tank will not beat or try to fight. She's not trying to fight Canelo. She's not trying to fight Crawford. If Earl come back, he's not trying to fight Earl. He's not trying to fight the Cellos. None of the Charlo twins. He not trying to fight Shakur Stevenson. What's the other boy? He not trying to fight Devin Haney. So, who you fighting, Tank? Nobody, man.
47 though.
Yes, if he get to pick his opponent. But Tank would never come from 35 to 54.
Y'all got into it on social media around that time. Is that just you being competitive, like when that happens, or is it like?
I just really don't like that dude.
Why though?
Cause I just don't like him. Like I really don't like him. That's like,
just not your cup of tea. That's just not your.
I don't like nothing about him. I just feel like he just one of these little
He's a clown.
little dudes that's using what he got to shield him. He got a lot of security guards around him, and he's in the limelight and stuff like that. But in certain situations, he wouldn't be acting like that.
You like him as a fighter though?
Yeah, he's a damn good fighter.
Yeah.
But like his core personality and his ways.
Let's talk about one of the most viral moments from the interview, when Crawford questioned why none of the top names in boxing are fighting each other. He dropped names: Teofimo, Lomachenko, Shakur, Tank, Garcia, Haney, a dream lineup of super fights just collecting dust. And he called it what it is, straight up politics.
Right.
I think all of them should fight,
I mean, you got Lopez, Teofimo.
Because I'm going to let you know this. All them names they just said, when they actually fight somebody, what happened to them? Devin Haney, what happened to you? When you didn't fight an amateur, you fought somebody else that was in your, you fought another, I don't want to get it wrong, but I know it wasn't an amateur, but you fought somebody else in your weight class, and what happened, Devin Haney? Belt their ass.
Fimo, you got Lomachenko, you got Shakur, you got Tank, you got Garcia. You got 5 guys. That's a nice little.
Devin Haney.
Devin Haney, yeah. You got 6 guys. Don't nobody want to fight nobody?
I don't know. I think they all should, be fighting each other.
Well, so what we got going on?
Politics.
Bro, if Shakur and Haney and Tank, if all of them leave, if they retire with undefeated records, that's some bull jive.
Right.
That's some straight up, and you know it too, bud. Ain't no way those guys should have undefeated records. If they're out in their prime and they damn near in the same, no, ain't no way.
No.
According to Crawford,
no.
If these guys all retire undefeated without fighting each other, it's going to be the biggest stain on this generation of boxing. Because if you're at the top, you should be fighting the top.
Right.
And he even admitted, I ain't going to be...
Bro, because when you had Mike Tyson, Holyfield, Ali, and all them dudes at the top, they fought each other. Roy Jones, all of them dudes, they fought each other. They didn't go out and find an amateur and beat on them and say, I'm great. Nigga, they fought professional boxers. Niggas that was in that weight class and higher. They didn't go down lower and find a amateur with a no fucking name and say, let's fight him. Let's get our bag up and money up and say, I'm great. Man, Tank need to fight Shakur. Tank need to fight Devin Haney. Tank need to fight Ryan Garcia again. Then, if he beat them, go up there and fight Crawford. Go up there and fight one of the Charlo twins. Go fight Canelo. I know they're gonna beat the dust off you, but go do it. You're a boxer. That's what this generation don't got. And that's fucking me up because I'm in this damn generation. Boy, I need to go get my shorts and gloves so I can beat the dust off these niggas and be like, damn, he's a fighter.
Be the only one walking around with a loss? That's a grown man response. Someone who cares more about competition than image. So if Tank's ducking fights to protect his zero...
Ducking?
I can pay you cash for your house, no matter what condition
Man, hit
it's
that
in.
like button so we can
If you need
release
to sell your
ass
house,
chat.
for any reason, click the button under this video.
Crawford's already ahead of him, both in skill and mindset. It wasn't just about one fight. Crawford made a few subtle digs that hint at a deeper skepticism. When asked about Ryan versus Tank and the rehydration clause, Crawford broke it down perfectly. He said Tank was probably in the right, but the clause definitely affected Ryan's performance.
Ryan Garcia and Tank, they talk about they might fight again, blah, blah, blah. There was a lot made about this rehydration clause. You don't have that. If I'm not mistaken, I don't think you have this in this one. So theoretically, he's supposed to come in at 168. Night of the fight, he might be 180, 185. You cool with that? I had sat down with Oscar, and Oscar said he think the rehydration clause had a lot to do with why Ryan didn't defeat Gervonta. What do you think?
I think two things. I'm gonna say three things. I think Ryan had an injury already previous in training.
Mm-hmm.
I think the way it did have an effect on him, because when you see him with Devin, he was totally different.
Oh yeah,
totally different
fighters.
But then he hit us with
when Ryan fought Devin, totally different fighter than when he fought Tank. So it was the weight, and I feel like he had an injury because he was the other one that took a knee. He was like, and he didn't get hit in this. You feel me? So y'all got eyes. Y'all see this? Come on, man.
the layered observation. Crawford mentioned how some fighters weigh in at 130 and rehydrate all the way to 165. He didn't say Tank by name, but we know who he was talking about. Crawford's making a point here. Modern boxing has too many loopholes, too many ways to rig the system. And Tank? He might be one of the poster boys for that problem. Beyond Tank, Crawford laid out a bigger issue. The whole division is clogged.
How you feel about that fight? Is it even possible at a catch weight?
No, ain't no catch weight. You come up to 47.
You're not even entertaining the catch weight.
No, I'm not.
He's a champ though too, undefeated.
And, what champ? Come on, man, tell me what belt. You know boxing. You forgot Devin Haney is undisputed. Devin Haney got all the belts. He the champ. Nobody else the champ. I'm gonna come up here with a big boy.
Come on, say that again. Devin Haney is the champ, not Devontae. He got all the belts. That's when we need to go fight.
All right, I'll welcome him.
So many elite fighters, so few real matchups. Everyone's moving strategic. Everyone's playing the long game. But the fans? We're starving. Crawford brought up Saudi Arabia, big purses, and how money could finally get some of these guys in the ring. He's down to travel, down to take risks, down to make history. But will Tank match that energy?
If we was to fight right now on the streets, I'll break your fucking neck.
Woo!
And that's on my kid.
Woo! Woo! And I believe him too. That's no bullshit. I felt that in my fucking chest. Woo! He said if we was to fight right now on the street, I'll break your fucking neck. Ooh. And if he ain't clapped back by now and say let's get in the ring, he's a bitch. But we know this. I know this.
And you know it, I know it, and the whole world know it. And I'm not talking about no fighting in the ring. If me and you was to fight outside, I will break your neck.
Because while Bud's out here calling for real fight,
You in a dungeon with your boy K the fucker X, and all I ask you to do is feed me 50K. Come on. Feed me 50K. I need them subs, chat. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Hit them tags down there. Follow me on IG, Twitch, Facebook. Hit that button up there. Subscribe to this channel. You already know you was in a dungeon with your boy, man. We covered boxing. Actually, Crawford and Tank. They got a little beef going on, and I can't wait to see them fight. Cause I know Crawford gonna beat the dust off Tank. Like the man said, if they fought outside the ring, he'll break his fucking neck. I believe him. He's a scrapper. He's a brawler. Tank got too many flaws. He hides too many. He's hiding behind too many things. Like, if you really a brawler, you really a boxer, go fight Go fight Haney. He got all the belts. Go fight Shakur. I feel like you're scared you're gonna get roughed up with Shakur. And you feel like Devin gonna knock your ass out. But I'm just spectating. You the fighter. You got the bag. Go make that fight with them top names I just said. Crawford waiting to see you in the ring, brothers. You don't want to see him in the street. You in the Dutch with your boy K the fucker X. All I ask you to do is hit the buttons up there. Subscribe to the channel. Like the channel. Comment. Because chat, what I do, hit back all the time. Let's go.
Fights. Tanks clinging to exhibition hype, social media drama, and barely their wins. The difference is clear. And then he said it. Crawford ended the Tank conversation with something that hit hard. They all know each other. That might sound innocent, but think about it.
Who have Shakur? What have Shakur done? What have he done in the sport? He haven't done nothing. The young one is looking more better than him.
Who that?
The Keyshawn. Keyshawn looking way more better than this. I keep screaming his name. He haven't done nothing. Keyshawn haven't even done nothing.
So what do you say to those who
I
might
keep
be
saying
afraid?
his name for?
So what do you say to those who might be saying that, Tank is afraid of Shakur?
Afraid of what? Afraid of what? Us
If he wasn't afraid, he'd have got in the ring. He's afraid.
fighters, if we're afraid of somebody, it gotta be somebody.
See this house in Texas? Let me show you how I invested into it with just a few $100. I did it using something called tax lien investing.
Hitting us and hurting us. Like he don't have no offense. Everything is defense. Defense only win in basketball and football. That shit win in boxing.
Crawford is pointing out that the top names, Tank, Ryan, Devin, Shakur, they've all been in the same circles since the amateurs. They know how each other fights. They know each other's weaknesses. So why aren't they fighting?
So they know each other so.
Yeah, they all know each other so well. Shakur, Tank, Ryan, Devin, they all know each other,
So is it hard to fight somebody you know?
No, I'm just saying they all know each other.
Mm-hmm.
So they know, how to fight each other, how to beat each other and things like that because they didn't fought each other so many times.
What do you think about the Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia fight?
Because maybe they know too much. Maybe Tank knows who's got his number. And maybe that's why he's playing it safe. But Crawford, he's ready for anyone. Anytime. Anywhere. This interview wasn't just...
And we're going to leave it at that. Hit them buttons and we out, chat. Because I got Crawford knocking it